All right, let's go, boys. George, you need your own stick. Henry, over here. Let go, let go, let go. You're gonna break it, you're gonna break it. Ooh. George, you want a deep one? George is clueless. So I grew up in a small town on Long Island called Point Lookout. It's like a small little fishing and beach town. It was really hard to get away with any mischief growing up because of how tight-knit the community is. So if you're trying to cause some mayhem, you're quickly identified as who you are, and they're telling your mom. I am the middle child, 4 brothers, there's 5 of us total. In the off season, I live out in LA, and I work for StringKing and spend most of my time hanging around the office or writing. This area is so sketch. This is where you're gonna buy a van on Craigslist. Oh, there's the van. It's pretty sick. It's got a bumper in here and 2 spare seats. I think if it drives, a mechanic can just take off. Otherwise, we're gonna have to be sitting around here, take it to a local mechanic. I didn't bring cash for that. It looks sick. You know, it's a Craigslist transaction though, so. But I ran the car, like the VIN number, and it's not stolen or anything. Does the front seem a little low? I guess I should probably text the guy. When it came time for the season last year, I was driving my van/house back to New York, and it broke down in Utah. So kind of had to liquidate all my assets and either give them away or ship them back to New York. For the most part, I was starting from square one. I mean, most people would be like, why are you pumped to buy a 2003 Chevy Astro van? And when you live in it, it's like a creative endeavor to try to maximize space and just build it to my needs. And the guy who sold it to me, his name was Sal, and the thing kind of looks like a boat, so we're calling it the Captain Sal. Might get some buoys, toss them off the side, throw some life jackets in there. So I plan on living in the van this summer back here in New York, but given that it broke down, I'm doing what I did in summers past and living with my parents, and a few of my brothers still live at home too, so it's kind of like a family fraternity, if you will. This is Georgie Boy, aka the Girth Hammer, aka Chocolate Thunder. He's kind of the, he's like a neutron. He just hangs among the other 2. Henry, come here. Henry, come here. Henry hates outsiders. But he's our oldest pup. See, you guys, he doesn't like you. He's setting up in his spot. He's bit people before. He also got run over by a Ford F-150. Holy shit. He ran off into the dunes for a while, but he ended up being perfectly fine. But he's like a mutt from Florida. He was my brother's dog at USF. Actually, every dog here once belonged to a kid who decided to just pass it off onto the parents, so that's pretty cool. This is a cool little Point Lookout drawing by a guy named Bill Hemp. It has like every establishment in town, which speaks to how small the town is. This is Ozzy. We also call him Dobby the house elf. He looks like the guy from Harry Potter. Him and Henry? Yeah. Yeah, he's Mini Henry. He's the newest addition. George can't go up the stairs. It's like a psychological block. He's also girthy, so that might have something to do with it. All right, Ozzy. And then this is my bed over here. We call it the twinner. It's kind of tucked away in a corner. Standing desk. I do a lot of work here. I actually have this painting. We could go mail this. Jackson Miller. I didn't forget about you. I usually do this. People DM me because they want paintings, and then I get their address, and I just get lackadaisical about it, and I send it like 3 weeks later, so you probably lose hope, but I'm just going to surprise you with it. Yeah. You know, like I said before, people are like, oh, you got your own place? No, space. It's a space. It's in the corner. But this is really all I need. To be honest, this is bigger than I'm used to because I lived in the van in the off season, so I guess you'd call this our, first of all, look at the bowl cut on me. I mean, Jesus Christ. My mom knew what she was doing. I'm also the only one with the bowl. I think I carried the bowl on to like an unreasonable age where they had to cut me off on it. Like, Matt, you got to be done with the bowl. Like, you're 14. But I still have the bowl in that. The rest of it is just pictures of kind of what we were into growing up. Then it's just, I mean, look at us in high school, too. We were just such losers. Definitely, we've all changed a lot since high school. After lacrosse is done, I'm certainly going to be involved in the film industry some. Right now, my passion is writing, but I want to get more involved in the production side of things. That's why at StringKing I try to get involved with a lot of the videos. But my natural talent is definitely writing, so I've already finished 2 feature film scripts that hopefully I'll make them one day or open to sell them. Anyone wants to buy them out there. So I spend my time writing or basically working out or preparing for lacrosse. So those are the 2 dichotomies of my life.
Gibby, nice new house, man.
Yeah, dude.
Looks good.
I like that a lot.
That is a mobile house.
Are you gonna clean out the back?
It looks like a boat. I decided I'm going nautical theme on it. I'm going to get some buoys hanging out the side. Some ropes and shit.
When you park, you should be like,
Exactly.
throwing it in.
Save up some money.
Throw the buoy out
Save
the
up some
side.
money, maybe you put some work into it.
My style of play is definitely try to play a very, I'd say, I don't want to say non-robot, I want to say like a free-flowing type of game so that, well, at least that's what I try to play, is being able to react to every situation and not knowing what type of shot you're going to do, and even being a guy who, I'm a primarily off-ball player, but if you look at some of my goals, I can dodge too. So I definitely have some of the best dodgers in the world on my team, but I like to be a guy who can react to anything off-ball and finish, but also, if you put a short stick on me, I can take you to the rack. So that's what my game has been this year, but that's just based on what my team is, right? So I just feel the hole that I just gel with the guys that I play with. If you put me behind the net, I think I could try to do that. You know what I mean? I try to be a versatile player. I can go from up top. I definitely can't play defense, which I found out quickly coming out of the box.
This is the ball bucket. It's got a mishmash of different balls. I like to try to find the grippy MLL ones, especially on a day of a game.
Oh, George loves the ball, so we got to get him out of here. George, come on, go up. George, come on. George? Oh, the ball? Come get it. Come on. George, get in. George?
Go! Come on.
Come on. Don't make me carry you. Pull a muscle on game day.
He weighs like 70 pounds. Go. I got a girth hammer him. You hate to have to do it. Heads up, boss. But yeah, this is the wall that I grew up throwing the lacrosse ball against. My dad would always give me a hard time and tell me to go elsewhere, but there's not many good walls in town. Garage, all things considered, for how many times the balls hit this wall, doesn't look that bad. I don't think I did I wouldn't get too tricky with it growing up. It kind of came about later. That happens a lot too. If you don't hear a window break, it's usually not too bad. These neighbors haven't been here forever, but the neighbors I grew up with definitely got a lot of balls in their yard. They actually put grating on the side of their house too to protect the windows. Oh, heads up. Happens a lot too. I guess that's why my dad would yell at me. 'Cause he buys all this stuff and then I just hit it with balls. Closer you are to the wall though, the easier it is to enter a zone, like the flow state.